they could find a way to have some like black box folder for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Which doesn't always work, but I digress. We are now finally in a position to start with 17 minutes into the pre-stream, at least the actual pre-stream that's on the right channel, because I accidentally started on Guineas because I forgot to change the accounts. And so there was Duty Beard that popped into chat, and I was like, wow, Duty Beard's in here? Really? That's crazy. Oh, wait, no, I'm on Guinea's fucking channel. Shit, that explains it.
You would think that different OBS profiles would have different settings, but...
Well, I didn't set it to whole different profiles. It's just different scenes. Which even then, the account isn't set to different scenes. It's just I have to manually change the account each time. Hence why I need to, ask for Guinea's code and everything. Now, I'd been debating actually putting streaming to Guinea's shit on an entirely different program. I wanted to try out Meld. In order to do that, though, I would need her. Actually, I don't even think it'll let me log into anything but mine, which means if I were to use Meld, I would have to transition all of my stuff to Meld, but Meld is still...
I figured that if you had it on different profiles, like actual different OBS profiles, you could have different settings.
Yeah, I don't think profiles allow for log accounts attached to the profiles, unfortunately. Okay. If it did, fucking incredible, and I would use that in a heartbeat. To my knowledge, however, though, it does not, which is a shame. So,
I wonder if there's a plugin.
That'd be cool. Although, at the same time, I could understand people not wanting to, or even not even being allowed to make those plugins, just because that could cause security issues for a number of reasons. Alrighty, but all that said, welcome everybody to session 63 of Forgotten Genesis Season 2. Working title: Frozen Depths. Well, and I mean, honestly, there's a reason for that. There's plans for things to happen and go down today, which will be super, well, hopefully kind of crazy. I don't know. Everybody is, generally speaking, a powerhouse. D&D, and the way it's built is it's built to generate fantasy superheroes and make players and characters feel that way. So, hopefully,
Vinistra
I can offer
said,
some challenge.
"We're going to delve a hag's frozen hag hole."
Yeah. Going to plunge her frigid depths.
Don't make it sound so... that.
Yeah. No.
I don't want to think about the hag's frozen depths.
But I'd argue she does want to think about yours now. As far as roleplay question, first and foremost, I think we've rolled this one before, but sometimes it can have multiple answers throughout the game, so this one is honestly fine to re-roll. We'll start with, since he's first in the camera order right now, we'll start with Avery. What is Avery's current motivation to be staying with the party?
Here, I need to figure out what the fuck's wrong with me, and more importantly, how to fix it.
Totally fair, totally valid. On to Piper. Whom is not present at the moment, might be a little bit distant from her microphone, that's fine. On to Xanon. What is Xanon's current motivation to be staying with the party?
I would say... How do I say this? Seems like a better path to power.
Fair enough. Totally fair and valid. Going ahead and moving on then over to Vinestra. And I suppose, in case the motivation is separate, in their case, Amira. What is their reason for staying with the party, at least currently?
Vinestra said, Angels and Violet are friends, as is Xanan. Plus, it does allow her more opportunities to do things.
Totally fair. Alright, and really quick before I continue forward, some fucking reason, after we got through all the computer issues, suddenly my digestive system's having issues. I will be right back. We're going to hit BRB just so I know where to edit this out on the VOD later. Okay. Tech delays are done. Hopefully stomach delays are done. I'm going to cross my fucking fingers.
Knocking on wood for you.
Baby's not happy she got put in the chair.
Uh-oh.
It's fine.
Well,
She just
maybe
didn't
should
know
have
all
gone to
this.
sleep.
Right. Anyway,
On to the character question for you then, Amber. And this is one that we've gotten before, but it's honestly worth asking every now and then again, just because the answer can change every now and then. What is Piper's current motivation for staying with the party?
I mean, Angel and Piper become such good friends that, you know, it's one of those things where if you're gonna do something, I might choose. Why the fuck not?
That's fair. Also, whatever the other half of your sentence was, they got cut off.
But we got the message. We understood.
Yeah.
And then also, same question for Bruce, of course.
Everybody smells good,
Everybody smells good.
and he loves the kids.
You know
I feel
what?
like in a fantasy world where prestidigitation exists, nobody would smell bad.
You would be
Some people
surprised.
might like smells that others may perceive to be particularly bad.
Different
Case in
cultures.
point, there. I
find
mean,
it-
like hell, even at my work, there's some customers that come up wearing some incredibly potent floral perfumes, which I'm sure in the right circles are, you know, pretty nice smelling. I find them
Sickening.
repulsive,
Yeah.
almost, with their potency.
But
So-
in certain cultures, different smells carry different significance, and also different biologies would make certain smells smell better to them. So, you know, somebody smelling like unwashed ass to a dog would probably smell amazing.
That's a good
I
point.
know.
I'm gonna go take a shower. Dog turns its head, but why?
Why?
Like unwashed ass.
It took
might
you a
smell
week
good.
to get that aroma. You're gonna get rid of it now?
Actually, no, Bruce does not like the smell of unwashed ass.
That's
Thank you
fair.
very much.
You need to groom your workhorses.
Exactly. He's very much like, I've been around groomed people my whole life. I don't understand why others of my species like the smell of poopy butts.
That's fair.
I don't understand.
Also, if it wasn't clearly communicated before, today will include a couple of roll. Today will at least include one Roll20 map. So that'll be a thing that's in use today. If there are any issues kind of using it on the PC side, apparently it is now locally tied into Discord, so you might actually have a more stable time running it through there.
Also, I don't think dogs necessarily like the smell of unwashed, but they like all the information that can be derived from unwashed. But where you been, who you been with, what you eaten.
Allow me to ascertain your ass. Okay. Aside
It's the
from
same
that,
reason they love fire hydrants.
yeah. Aside from that,
Hey, bro, you know, there's other species that, you know what, that smells like...
on to recaps from last week's session.
There was a little squabble between Violet and Avery, because Avery didn't like being told what to do, and wasn't being given a real, conclusive, satisfactory answer on why he couldn't do it. but eventually they made up.
It's
Okay.
mostly because Violet was very worried that naked snack equals snack without a wrapper. Or, Dragon
Yeah,
no.
that was one reason, and that wasn't a good enough reason for him. The reason I think that he's finally said, okay, fine, is she didn't want the kids imitating it.
Yeah.
Because it's unbecoming of
royals good.
royal.
Yep.
It was
Unbecoming of royalty.
combined and conjoined with honestly a trauma response from Violet as well.
Yeah. But when we went over that, once she shared that with Avery, he gently and kindly said, well, yeah, that was then. This guy, this person who you worried for in the past was not a level 20 sorcerer.
Which is totally fair for that side of the recap. Any other details, perhaps, that we can glean from Piper and Bruce's side of it? Although I don't believe we really touched on Bruce at all last session.
Piper found out she is related to the Puck from original Earth lore. And come to find out, the only way to fix her mother and baby is to negotiate something with Oberon, which she's just like, for that.
Yeah, it's going to
I'm not
involve a
ready
little
for
bit of time fuckery.
She's just like, I'm not ready for. Give me like 10 more levels.
Totally fair.
It's like, wait till I'm level 30, then sure.
That information was revealed with Piper's mother's maiden name being revealed as Goodfellow.
And Piper recently finishing on Arthurian and British Fae lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and player Brick is not too well learned on mythology, so he's having to look up Wikipedia real quick.
Yeah. Which also,
Robin Goodfellow, also known as Puck.
Yeah.
I'm reading that.
Which is
And
his real name, we'll
Arthurian
never
lore has
know.
also been revealed
The
to be
Goodfellows
tangible
or
within the material
Babu
rings as
Goblin.
well.
Oh, then look up Robin Goodfellow, Summer Court? Right?
Or honestly, just Midsummer Night's Dream is a good reference point as well, just going by that play.
Oh wait, no, this is alternative names. Yeah, the primarily is
Robin Goodfellow.
is Mad Pranks and Mary Jacks.
You never watched Lazy Town?
I have vague memories of Lazy Town. I remember it being freaking weird.
Lazy Town was Saturday and also more stringently, specifically Sunday morning cartoons for me.
It was
It
a
wasn't even a
Swedish.
cartoon.
Well, I mean, it was
a Swedish
slotted
live
in with them, if
action
that
on
makes sense.
Disney.
You know, it would
Hold on.
start playing
You know the
usually
meme,
right before
We Are
usually
Number
Lilo
One?
and Stitch, the animated series.
You know the meme "We Are Number One"?
Yep.
Back from a few years ago, that was from Lazy Town.
Yes, indeed.
Vinestra said, "The older meme, you are a pirate."
Was that
I'm just looking.
Oh, you're right. It was Lazy.
Yes.
Check the meme. Wait, did I not put it in memes? Where did I put it? Did I put it
Also,
in general?
Sporticus still remains to be an absolutely absurd example of
Also, the
physical
Baker Cake
capability.
song.
Yeah,
Guess we'll delete
that
that.
man was in the wrong profession, I believe.
There we go. But if you look at memes, I found this and Dusty's like, I don't understand it. He's never watched Lazy Town.
Yeah. No.
To be fair, that entire show is
Sporticus
a bit of a
has-
fever dream, you know?
Oh my god, I always hated that character in particular, but I think he was supposed to be hateable.
Yeah.
Who? Homelander? Yeah, he's supposed to be.
No, the person in the thumbnail of what Vinestra. The
Oh, yeah, I hate the
mine
name.
character.
This is mine. This is mine. Fuck up.
Yeah.
Continuing on
Like,
with
I
Is
the
always
my
recaps.
hated my-
microphone censoring me? Because I said fuck and it stopped working for a second.
Continuing on with the recaps, Xanon, recap to the best of your ability what happened last session.
I think we all got some kind of liquid. I think. Or that was... I don't know if that was this session or last session.
Got some kind of liquid.
I don't know. Something to hurt
Vinestra said,
Meg?
"We did it was the ink."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I think
And, that's all I can remember.
Ink comprised of the remains of the winner of a dark deal. It's a rare thing in the best of times. Which all of you chose for the sake of this approaching encounter to utilize in various ways, whether that be applied to your weapon or as a spell focus or whatever else. It does not offer, strictly speaking, a mechanical benefit as much as it does a MacGuffinary benefit of now you're able to essentially damage this entity without consequence.
I passed a note to the DM.
Also, let me go ahead and switch the music. Wrong playlist. There we go. Come on, switch. There we go. Let me double check that there note.
About to start typing on my keyboard key or on my computer key. This is gonna drive me nuts.
I'm gonna use Discord on my phone for a bit because I want to edit my fan curves on my PC. I need to get to the BIOS.
Oh, for a second I was confused by what you meant by fan curves. I'm like, huh? Now is not
On
the
my
time
PC,
for...
in the BIOS.
Yeah, totally fair, totally fair, totally fair. I need to pull this thing out and dust its insides.
Vinestra said, "It's like fan fiction but reality."
No, it's fine.
Can you give me
It's
pickle?
not too dirty right now.
I
Not
need
enough
to
pickles.
edit my fan curves. Liposuction.
Passed a note back. Digital notes are fun. Wish it could be physical notes, but, you know, not physically there.
Totally understandable. Okay.
Ooh, I don't need that many if it's half a burger, that's right. Somebody got Dusty a burger for free, but he didn't want to eat it because I made spaghetti, which is his favorite. But I was like, but you got it for helping somebody. Splitsies? Splitsies.
Burger and spaghetti sounds like a killer combo, though.
Dusty agrees.
Why are you looking at me like I'm ready to give you?
Okay. That said, recaps and, of course, brain just turned right off. Recaps and roleplay questions. Everybody has earned both of their inspiration die. I will ask Guinea to go ahead and give a quick version of both of those whenever she arrives to earn hers as well. As she is the person with eidetic memory, she might have shit that even I didn't quite remember happened.
Don't mind.
Or she might not. I don't know. It seems like between the delayed mass and everything else, she may be coming into this a little bit stressed. So, hopefully fighting and killing something will help relieve that. That said, welcome players to session 63 of Forgotten Genesis Season 2. You have all gathered between each of you a file of ink containing the remains of one who won out on a dark deal. To use however you should deem appropriate in handling the threat that exists beneath the frigid town of Arcala. So, members of Zavorcizor and those associated, generally speaking, the party of Forgotten Genesis. What would you all like to do? I'm also jealous of that burger, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, did you eat napkins with it? Oh, shit. Could you give me a paper towel, please?
Okay, let me get this live. Listen.
Vinestra said, V and Amira are going to finish preparing their armor and weapons.
Absolutely. Prep and applications also won't take that long unless you choose to be thorough, and of course, and if you would like to stretch the ink for a wider application across whatever gear you have, you can mix it with water without consequence.
Piper is probably going to try getting in contact with Wilsoni to see what would be the best way for her to use her.
Getting in contact with Wilsoni, absolutely. So is that you choosing to go ahead and use up your brain just turned off?
Divine intervention?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you can use divine intervention for a far more tangible effect than just asking questions. So.
I know, but something about him to her is like, maybe I shouldn't abuse the power I have with this guy.
Up to you. Also, one of the very few entities really in this framework of existence that's very kind of hard to perceive compared to many other cosmic beings. Except by those he lets see him.
It's more like players like, considering who I chose my character, if I use it too often, if I abuse that power, it feels like cheating.
Fair enough. Summoning it forth. There are, various reflective surfaces kind of throughout the room, smaller mirrors and things like that, and you can already see red beginning to filter into various reflective surfaces. Your perception shifting as if the floor beneath you has become a wall and the wall's a ceiling. As the red begins to drip down and your sense of gravity sickeningly shifted. Drips down further and further to this black mane of hair, conjoining almost like a cord or a lifeline to the red-skinned, pallid-eyed being that stands bound to it. What do you need?
So we have this ink, right? We're about... Stop it. Let me just... There. Better. Now we're gonna get in depth of my makeup getting messed up. Anyway. So we have this ink that is the ashes of a person who had won out on a deal with a hag. And it is the hag that we are facing against, which we found out with very, very powerful hags. Best kind of way for, protection and weapons and stuff. What would be the best way I could utilize it for myself?
Best is subjective. You are a caster through and through, not really someone who likes to get up close and personal with kicking and punching, or swinging and slashing. The only time that you like to get up close and personal is to use the Finger of Chaos, generally, right? So, the safe bet is to use it as a casting focus, to channel your magic through it. That's the safe bet. You could dip the Finger of Chaos into it, but that may come with some unforeseen side effects. Still, I am a lover of the chaotic option, but chaos versus safety, that's a coin, honestly, that I feel only you can really flip.
Do you think it's a good unpredictable or a bad?
That's the thing about unpredictable. It's neither and both.
I get one more question.
That is one thing to consider, though. Using the Finger of Chaos as a spell focus after it's been dipped. Did it not cross your mind you could use the damn thing as a wand?
Yes, I've been using it as a spell focus. Where have you been?
Half awake most of the time.
Not fair.
I'm just loving the fact that he's.
And there's my third question. Where have you been with my... There's my third question. I accidentally asked my third question, which is, where have you been? I've been using it as a focus.
Are you forgetting how this works? You get 5.
Oh, I thought it was 3.
No. It's like Speak with Dead on steroids. Because I'm not dead.
Oh, there's 4. It was like, I think it was 4. I accidentally asked.
Vinestra said, how many questions are left?
I think 1.
Oh, apparently 2. Apparently 2. Okay, I thought I asked another question. I guess I didn't. You think it would bother Bruce's hammer to he dips his in?
You got cut off there a little bit. Try again. The cosmic being that is trying to speak through you is having a hard time keeping a hold of your vocal cords.
Let me get out and get back in. Hold on, let's see if that works. Hey, better?
Question, is your microphone running
All
through
right.
your webcam? Is that kind of...
Yes, only because, for whatever reason, the other mic just decided, nah.
Gotcha, okay.
So...
That explains it. The directionality on that seems a little sensitive.
Yeah, so I'm there we go. Up close and personal with my face. Hello. Let me stare deeply into your eyes.
Why so serious? All right.
Would it be a bad effect if Bruce uses it on his hammer, considering it's the dual influence of Pendra and her devilish person?
The ink?
He's the ink. He has his own, everybody has their own little
The
quill.
ink isn't going to have a negative effect on his hammer.
Well, I was meaning the people attached to the hammer.
The ink is not itself bound to a powerful entity, just a very unique circumstance.
Okay. I don't know what my last question would be.
What's the best way to beat this hag? Just make sure we're on the right path.
What would be in a question she would feel like, that feels too cheesy. That feels too cheaty. Is there an elemental weakness to this hack? That one's better.
You already learned this answer during your research. Strictly speaking, no.
So no, or like how I am invulnerable to fire, sort of thing, but the reverse.
A
Super
clarification
susceptible
counts as a
fire.
question. And that would be number 6.
Fine. 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 Ow, cramp in my foot.
And that's what you get for being pushy. No.
Yeah, that happened in character. Piper's foot cramps in response to trying to break the rules.
Well, I'm going to get back to being half awake or half asleep. I don't know. I'll toss a coin and figure it out.
Gonna toss a coin to your witcher, will value plenty.
I don't have a witcher. Not the right world for that. Although, depending on lore, it's precisely the right world. Supposedly, the world of the Witcher was a pre-Avalonian Earth, and he fades out of existence.
Her other foot cramps, because technically that was question number 7.
That was him just dropping lore for shits and or giggles.
I know, but she still said you gonna go toss a coin to your witcher, will value plenty. That was framed as a question, so
That's
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say her other foot cramped.
Double foot cramp.
Okay, but it was worth it. You guys see her walking back with her feet like weirdly arched and shit.
You know what? Not gonna ask. I hope you had a good night.
Just foot cramps, that's all. I broke rules, and the rules decided that because I broke them, my feet are to cramp. And we rolled to see how long that effect would last for.
Shits and giggles, roll me a d6. For amount of minutes.
3.
3 agonizing minutes in both your feet.
I'm going to mix...
Wait, shouldn't she roll separately for each foot?
Nah.
That would be hilarious. Actually, that is how cramps work. Separately for each foot.
Yeah, roll me another d6.
The other one is a 4.
Ah.
So the second...
There's a 1 minute delay. The other one.
Because it was like, you had the audacity to ask another one. Here, this one cramps for longer.
Vinestra said, but did she avoid the leg going to sleep?
No, we're not talking about Charlie horses.
We're talking about just foot cramps.
That's a con save. Which, as you all know, when I have sessions and run them for you guys, I fail those on a consistent basis, often multiple times in the span of an hour.
So what Piper's going to do... She has ashes of changelings from when some appeared and went poof, like years ago. Yeah, exactly. She turned that into paint. So she's going to also, with this inkwell, mix it with the rest of the paint, which she had like half a tube left, if I remember correctly. And then paint the Finger of Chaos with it.
Okay. Shits and giggles, what color do you end up painting the Finger of Chaos?
Well, the ashes... hold on. I have to... We wrote out what each of the ashes of each species did. Hold on.
Vinestra said, did you paint the Finger of Chaos as nails?
Yes. There is a list somewhere along the way. Changelings was a shift, like color shifts.
Ah, okay. You've dinner boned your Finger of Chaos.
Yeah, so now it's like... Ooh. And I remember the painting I made with it had some form of magical effect because of that, but I don't remember.
Very, very mild. Magical
I
effect.
couldn't remember. And after she's done painting it, well, I hope that doesn't fuck over Wilsoni too much after painting it. It's
only
nails.
good for the one use anyway, so.
You missed it. She, Roman Reigns came out, Seth Rollins came out, she just said, CM Punk came out, she's like,
That's funny right there.
Alrighty. Venestra and Amira are going about essentially painting over their runes with their ink. Any special ways that everybody else is going to go about applying theirs? For the sake of aesthetics.
Probably not. I mean, Aegis probably gets a little war paint on his face. He'll wash
Totally
off
fair.
later. It's not his favorite aesthetic, but it's fitting for the moment.
Totally fair. All right. And then I believe specifically, Neseo, you mentioned that you were thinking about just drinking it down when mixing it with something like water, to which I mentioned it would actually specifically weaponize your breath weapons in the process. 2 damaging her, if you chose to do it that way.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do yet.
Totally fair. All right, so that's the substance in mind for preparation. Anything anybody else would like to do before, well, essentially tree striding out of Ormer and getting started going down beneath Arcala?
Let's talk this out.
Did you see my message from earlier?
Let's see. Honestly, the
Vinestra
implication is
said,
that you ended up visiting
V and
her...
Amira are ready to go. I wonder if anyone will get downed.
It's a good question. The implication was that you ended up visiting her grave numerous times over the course of that span of time, and bringing Chiselrunth to Ryu was like the very tail end of that 2-year span of your, essentially 2 years of vacation, which is what that largely was for essentially everybody.
I was only going to visit her once.
Ah, okay. Gotcha, once after initially finding it. Well, then any other sort of, relaxation-based task that you may have taken during that time to just kind of recenter yourself, you can have easily taken during that time.
Oh, right. Everyone's con goes up by 2.
What was that from again? I know there was something specific.
The manual.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Manuel?
Yeah, so...
Manuel, relay instructions.
in particular...
The Manual of Bodily Health.
Yeah, Venestra has possession of the Manual of Bodily Health, and she took the opportunity to go ahead and rotate basically some reading guidelines throughout the party for the use of that particular artifact. So everybody's constitution does go up by 2, or in other words, at your guys' current level, you can just increase your HP by 24, but also, raise your constitution by 2 points, and it'll automatically do that. Which will be helpful for con saves and whatever have you.
Another modifier.
Yep, just add a modifier for +2 to your con. That is a set benefit. That applies to everybody.
So, did anybody else pick what they were going to do with the ink? With their inkwells?
So Avery was going to largely apply it to Aegis, since Aegis essentially acts as a spell focus anyway. Gonna do war paint and shit like that. Which, also shits and giggles for flavor's sake, what kind of war paint do you end up applying to, and what patterning do you go for?
I don't know. Probably some like stripes under the eyes, vertical the eyes, maybe up across the forehead.
Fair enough.
So I am having difficulty getting this modifier to apply. Oh wait, no, I wasn't having difficulty.
Right on. Which should effectively bump everybody's Constitution saving throws, base stat, as well as anything else that con, of course, affects.
Okay, so go to the thing and add 2 to the base stat.
Add +2 to your base Constitution attribute, yes. Even in excess of 20.
Vinestra said, yes, so if it's 20, it becomes 22.
Message Megan that as well.
I'll probably be muting often because, you know, this webcam's microphone is picking up random shit.
It's all good.
Okay.
All right, and any other major preparations anybody's going to go ahead and do? Utility spells like Hero's Feast, shit like that?
I don't think
What kind of barbarian did we put Bruce as? What kind of barbarian did we put Bruce as?
I'm drawing a blank on that one. I think it was
You
Tilly.
have the sheet.
I do, and I'll pull it up.
I think it was like Berserker or something.
Might have been. Let's see here.
And if it's not, because he would have leveled up total for, if we're at level 24, he would have done all 4 levels as his barbarian.
Okay, so
I'm guessing he wasn't high enough to pick a path yet.
at base 20, he was level 2 in Barbarian, so was not able to choose a path.
But if we were to separate that out to a separate page and do 6, because that would be what level he'd be at 24, is level 6
which
barbarian.
actually, there should be an available sheet for him on level 20. If there's not, let me fix that.
Let me see. See all.
There is not. Let me go ahead and remedy that.
Why is it saying I am the host? I am not the
Started
host.
it.
You are the host of that activity, not the GM. It does not mean you are the GM.
Okay. Okay. Hey, allow. Graveyard handouts, player characters, guest characters.
Yeah, let me generate a new one for you, actually.
I will. Ah, sick. That scared me. But I don't know why. Ah! Get back. Still trying to figure out how to use this thing. No. I mean, how do I edit it? How do edit? Edit how do? Sorry. Sorry, I had a moment. Let me see if it will work better on my computer. I won't take the Roll 20 off since apparently I'm hosting, which means y'all probably need me on it. Ah, shut up, Daz. Verifying you're human. This may take a minute. Y'all can't see what I'm typing. Good. Okay.
Okay, there should be a Bruce Remus sheet at least available now under player characters.
Every time step on target. Good choice.
To go ahead and edit as needed.
All I can edit is avatar, name, default token, and bio and info.
There should be a character sheet option up there as well.
It will not let me.
Show me. With a share screen if you can.
Vinestra said, make sure you give permission.
There should be. Hold on.
That may be the issue of why I can't edit either Piper or Bruce.
It can be edited and controlled by Amber. And is in Amber's journal.
Yeah, same thing with Piper.
Weird. Hold on. Can be edited and controlled by Amber.
Let's see if they'll let me do it. Roll 20, loading. Hold on, let me just. Oop. Let me exit all those. Now edit. Yeah, no. Hold on. Let me share its screen.
Oh.
That way. Okay. Yeah, so cancel that. So we're on this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Make any changes or adjustments, so that edit will just allow you to upload or change a character token or character visual. To edit the actual sheet, you press the pencil icon under your name to make adjustments as needed.
Well, now I feel stupid.
You're all good. Changed the sheet format to allow for epic level stuff to get plugged in without issues, but it does come without a charactermancer, so it won't have the...
Oh, Jesus. They didn't start till nearly an hour after setup time, and they are only on the homily part, and this is Easter Vigil. Shit.
Scheisse.
Poor Megan.
Okay. Given that we are going into a fight also for this session, I will say I can take the time now to allow you guys to work on your character sheets if they are incomplete right now and need updating or changing to allow them to function properly within Roll20 for whatever is needed for a level 24 character.
Mine's not even started, so that's a good idea.
Alrighty.
Where? Oh, it's open.
And then I'm going to go actually into your DM's Amber or in character art.
Vinestra said, mine's set up not in our Roll20, but in my library.
Ah, okay.
How do I fucking get to my character sheet? I have the host is preparing your game.
Huh? Weird, hold on.
Okay, so what happened? Session call. Okay. Now, Bruce.
Right now
Not-
it says the host is preparing your game. Party members hang in the lobby while the host masterminds the game.
Do I need to exit so the host can be Joe?
That may be the conundrum. Go ahead and exit the activity. I think everybody exit the activity, and then I should be able to host
Trying
it for
to
myself.
figure out how to do that. Here we go.
How do I? Thank you. Got it.
There we go.
Okay, can you get rid of this him quest trailer thing? Hide this. I don't want to see it. POS.
All right, let's see if that fixes it. And allows you guys to mess about.
Host is preparing your game.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
All right, now I can join the activity. Let's see.
I get to the character.
So how do I get it to where I can only see just the sheets I have? Is it
So,
Jukebox?
for some
Art
of the journal
library.
items, I have it so everybody can see some items, and then for some of them, I have them so that only you can see some items. I don't have that set individually for everybody, but I can change that. I do believe I have you able to see Megan's, because on occasion in Roll20 you've been moving around Megan's character, because of course her PC was being a bitch with that old PC. Hence why you're able to see Angel's stuff.
And also a lot of times we would shadow box each other because we kind of.
Yes, indeed.
How do I get to my character?
Oh Jesus Christ! I have to do all of Bruce's shit from
So under
scratch.
Journal, which will be the third tab in, scroll down under the folder that says Player Characters, and Avery Starling should be at the bottom there.
I gotta look at Bruce's sheet from what we got in D&D Beyond.
Vinestra said, you'll usually just need to add in subclasses.
Why was there two? Oh. Why do I hear two?
I'm trying to edit, man. Can't... Well, I guess that's not something you edit directly.
What is going on? Why do I hear?
No?
What are you trying to edit?
Oh! I had your stream up. That freaked me out. Oh.
That's probably what
Click
is
the
double
pencil, then click 11.
Okay.
audio. The small number set right below the +0.
Here, oh. No, it's too small and it doesn't. No.
How, how does it let me edit?
There's like
In strength, see the 11.
sound.
Why do I hear two of me?
Where am I now? What's the? Oh, here we go. Oh, there. Okay, cool. Got it.
So the reason why you're hearing two of you is because Brick is streaming his Discord output, which is doubling things.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
You can mute the stream if you want. I mean, it's
I exited it, and then for a while there, it kept going, which freaked me out a little bit.
weird.
Mm-hmm. And my computer's also weird, so it's tearing me apart, Lisa.
There's no way to separate additional modifiers from the base.
I figured it out.
Just increase it raw then.
and-
Okay.
Oh, wait, we get 2 more Constitution, Strength, Dexterity, Constitution. Oh, why did I put 14 at 16 now? Good lord.
I'm just building out my level 20 that I have in D&D Beyond. And then you can help me level them up. Asthma. Saving throws. So one.
Vinestra said, if you have expertise, click the bubble twice.
Don't.
Okay, welcome everybody back from that fairly extended BRB we had. Just had to get some sheets put back together because it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we changed some things with Roll20 to allow for epic level stuff, and it gets complicated. And then, of course, because we did that and it overwrote the original setup that we had for Roll20 sheets, it did also end up erasing any information that people previously put on their sheets. I wish that, there was like some interim software that would allow for basically conversions. Unfortunately, there's not. It's fine. Things happen. It's whatever. But either way, we're back at it and back in it. While not every sheet has been plugged into its absolute, perfection and completion, they're at least now in a semi-functional state, which is helpful.
I love seeing people when they get into a situation and then sort of figuring it out. I'm very excited about it. We're very excited about it. You lit up over that role and flying it and really from glad and from
Also, at the very least, the half proficiency thing has now been managed. For at least the non-proficient skills, assuming that I did that correctly, but I digress. Don't know why I'm talking about all that. Now, let's go ahead and members of Zvorsazor. Generally the party of Forgotten Genesis. Y'all have gathered together, y'all have applied your inks, y'all have briefly left the consciousnesses of your bodies to make sure that your bodies were in general in fighting shape and magically bound capability for a number of hours or seconds that felt like hours, I suppose. Funny how standing brief comas are. But as you all snap back to reality, a sensation that honestly, Piper, you're more familiar with this particular kind of brain shutdown than just about everybody else. Your patron is Wilsoni, after all. And as you all wipe that brief, unknowable nosebleed of knowledge beyond your comprehension away from your face, you all have a tree to step through. A frozen town to re-enter. And a hag to confront.
Tiffany Charlotte was advice, or advice, of the local Jerry.
So, would anybody like to take charge in terms of gathering everybody up, gathering your things, generally heading up toward the tree? Amber, you okay?
Yeah, my brain's just.
Just bleh. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going over in my head what I gotta do when I get up at 8 tomorrow.
We're all kind of getting there.
I gotta go to church at 10:30, but I gotta pump before I go. Eh.
I'd go when families
While Avery is over here toying with the cube of Rubik. A legendary artifact undecipherable for all but the most perceptive of adventurers.
It's not even perception, it's memorization.
Vinestra said, V is going to take point at least until Violet stops TPOsing. As a dog.
Absolutely T-posing. And unfortunately, in dog form, while T-posing, she is also prone to drooling like a dog would in that state.
Oh my god.
Now, fortunately or unfortunately, while all of you have seen your companions T-pose to a certain degree, a being T-posing at this size and scale is rather alarming to see, as you notice, particularly at this scale, her eyes are open, she has not blinked, and at this point, at some time in the last 2 hours, they did roll back into her head. So just seeing the gigantic, angry whites of her eyes is a little disconcerting. Halcyon's just sitting there like, I've seen the rest of you do this, I haven't seen her do this. What do I do? Do I heal her? Do I put my coat up on her arm or something? Like, this is very, very bloody freaky. As Nick walks in from another room, just holding T-posing Angel under his arm like he's walking by with a cardboard cutout. Sets her down right next to Violet. Yeah, no, this hasn't happened in a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time this happened.
I wonder if I should, like, slap another dress on top of her just to freak her out. Not change her, mind you. Just put another dress on top of what she's wearing.
No, I think she might lose her shit. And not in the good fun way you're expecting, I know that look.
Oh, we don't do anything with shit. That's gross.
The face the player has, the face the character has, just... You know what I mean?
Vinestra said, put flowers in her hair.
You know what? That's valid.
That one's cute.
And what's wonderful about that is you're not expecting.
Piper, you got Druidcraft, right? What am I saying? A ranger, I have Druidcraft too. Look at me forgetting my own skill set.
Like Vegas now, like New Orleans next year.
Not like you've used them recently.
Oh, hush. Nick proceeds to grow a monkey-faced orchid and plant that in Angel's hair. And Halcyon just kind of looks at his hands. So I'm a paladin. Druidcraft isn't really my skill set. Piper. Forgive me if this is a little bit cliche, but maybe some violets in Violet's hair.
Poof. That's what Piper does, just like, poof. She even
I'm
says,
going to try and wreathe these through her braid.
For anyone who wants to know what a dog T-posing looks like.
Look at memes.
Yeah.
Please shut him up before I throw something at him. It's like, shut Triple H up, for the love of God, he's driving me nuts. He's being businessman Triple H, not cool wrestler Triple H. Shut him up.
Fantastic, that ought to work. Quite pretty. Wholesome pranks, good pranks. It's a shame, because I've been very tempted to do cruel pranks when I've seen the rest of you T-pose. Wholesome pranks are a better idea, though. The amount of you have given wet willies to. It's amazing.
That video feel AI generated.
Anybody else want flowers in their hair? Piper's just like, okay, but since we're doing
An
this.
alternate universe where Bruce decided to take levels in Monk.
Yes.
Or, you know, went with the homebrew Pulgist Barbarian subclass.
Hold on, what? Let me look at Bruce.
Oh yeah, you can see where the fucking shadow of the tail warps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinestra said, I'd probably advise not all of us get flowered up, just in case the hag can animate them.
I mean, they've been made with magic anyway. I'm sure they could be dispelled. Couldn't they? Or is that not how Druidcraft works? Look, my magic is bound in the charisma, not the wisdom of the world.
Hold on, I'm reading some stuff.
I am intelligent, not boundlessly so.
Would you want to risk it, having plant vines grow out of your head?
You know what? When they come to consciousness, we can bring it up, and they can take them out, if they choose to. And then it'll be on them to see if they accept the risk. All right. So, off to a tree then. And into colder weather. Hold on. Sorry, I need to get my long-sleeved gambeson.
Amira's going to cast Minor Illusion on Violet to put her in clothes.
Minor illusion of clothes.
Didn't Minor Illusion only cover a 1 foot cube?
5 by 5.
5 by 5. Still, is that big enough for Violet?
For like a leotard.
If she's in dog form, it doesn't matter if she's naked. She's a dog. She's covered in fur.
Yeah.
In all
She's
fur.
also pregnant.
True.
And that wouldn't really change much for a dog. Just means a bigger belly. That's it.
She stood up on hind legs, no?
Yeah. I mean, if she's T-posing, yeah.
Quickly enough, Halcyon comes back. Winter wear equipped appropriately. Which very much does kind of look a little... like a little bit much. It very much looks like he's kind of swapped out for almost Nordic paladin armor. There's way too much fur packed in there, and some of it looks like it's a very familiar color. Like quite familiar, as if it's recently been wreathed in illusory clothing. And a bunch of violets through the back of its hair. Right, so I think we're ready. Does anybody else need any winter wear? I've got so much of this fur, I can make something.
I mean, she's kind of just in her lava wear.
She sheds a lot when she's stressed, and she's stressed all the time.
I don't think I have any here.
Don't you have that bloody enchanted wardrobe?
Well, yeah, isn't it just a wardrobe of holding? I mean, if I don't have the wardrobe, don't do me good.
It generates usable clothing for 8 hours before it magically dissipates.
I misunderstood what the fuck it did.
Yeah, I have a better idea, and she's gonna pull from her
Vinestra
bag.
said. Vi's going to look at Halcyon head tilted. I'm good. She motioned to her fur-clad armor. Besides, unlike you, I could go out there in nothing and be fine.
Fair and valid. Also, what kind of fur is that? Is it from wherever you're from?
Yes, and what were you about to say, Piper?
Piper's gonna pull out from her bag of holding her red fox coat that her mother gave her and put it on Avery.
Oh my. Size comparisons. Is it a little big for Avery? He was a tall elf.
Piper is 5'6".
Oh, right. Okay,
Wait,
fair.
5'8". 5'8".
So
How tall is
probably
Avery?
relatively close. Brick?
I am, however tall he needs to be. His base, like his non-transformed changeling form, I said, I think 6 foot, 6'2".
Ah, you can shrink yourself down a bit.
But
That's probably
his-
pretty easy.
But
Yeah.
for his normal, like, 40 form, probably like 5, or maybe even like 4'10".
I mean, I think the red fox coat would be fine for him.
Yeah. 4 foot something fuckable.
Piper's just gonna hand him the coat. There, this is really, really warm. Trust me.
Gracias very much.
I do want it back, though,
Do you even
later.
know what that means?
Nicodemus
I
going,
heard one of Angel's ancient friends say it.
Vinestra said, grass ass?
From what I heard, it meant
Yeah,
fuck
something like that. I think it means thank you. Kind of a weird way to say it.
you. Either thank you or fuck you. It's something with a...
I either said thank you very much or fuck you very much.
Either are on brand for you. You tried to get into our bed. Which, to be fair, if I were any other member of my family, I would not have been opposed to.
real quick, Piper, before she fully hands over the coat, she's gonna thoroughly inspect the red fox coat, because it was her mother's, and she just found out what her mother, her familial ancestry is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna investigate. Or would... Yeah, it'd be investigate, right?
Yeah, if you're going to inspect something closely.
Yes.
Vinestra said, check the pockets.
19 plus 5. 19 plus 5.
19 plus 5, 24. Okay. Unfortunately not high enough to find anything particularly peculiar or interesting. However, digging through the pockets, you do, weirdly enough, find a donkey's tail, like you would pin on at a birthday party.
Oh, so not an actual donkey tail, thank God.
That was not in there last time you checked.
Would I know who in the party would be better at thoroughly checking this over than me? Because I wasn't there before, and if I can't find the reason, somebody else can. I don't want to.
Amira might.
Okay. Hey, Amira, can you give this a once-over? This is Donkey Tail for games in the pockets. It wasn't in here last I checked.
Sure. Amira will investigate it. $32.
32, yeah, that'll do it. Okay. So, just purely for the sake of the comedic route to this, I'm imagining that Tiny Ass Amira is rifling through this jacket while it's already being worn by Avery.
Sure.
And while going through...
I just wanted to thoroughly investigate it before I handed it over to Avery, so it's still in my hand.
Fair enough. All right. Either way, rifling through it, quickly enough, and I would say especially also with that keenly observed 32. First of all, the pockets are absolutely fucking covered with ancient Sylvan runes. It's subtle, though. Like buried in the patterning of the stitchwork. All throughout the pockets. Just as well, even pulling on loose threads, they seem to retract and pull themselves back into place. It seems to react similarly when it takes damage to Fey glass in a way, where it seems to reform itself if it's ever properly distorted. Just as well, even though the runes don't seem active at the moment, they seem to act... I'm forgetting the name of the exact magical item. But they seem to act a little bit like a transportation pyramid. And again, I'm pretty sure that's not the exact name for the magical item, but there are a couple of small, basically stone pyramids that you can use when set next to an object to basically transfer that object from one point to another. The pockets seem to have similar enchantments to that type of magical item. Alongside a number of other properties which, on just baseline inspection, you're not entirely certain of until giving it the quicker once-over, because, of course, Amira has baseline natural 20s with fucking Arcana checks, so I'm not really going to bother to make you roll. There is that transposition property in the pockets. There is that mending property that is just kind of all throughout the jacket. There is, weirdly enough, a conditional awakening and animation rune set where the stitching properly attaches to the fur.
I'm sorry, are we looking at like Kill la Kill style animated clothing?
Sorry, are we talking
Vinestra
about
said, Dr. Strange Cloak.
Are we talking about the girl with the bear cloak that when she wears the bear, she turns into a bear?
I'll put it
Silky.
this way. This jacket was handed to a druid. For a reason.
Is it a druid skin cloak?
It has a number of similarities with that, along with a number of additional runes that seem to lead off further into the pockets than you can immediately see, with how these sort of inner layerings seem to almost get dark, like falling into a tunnel, even though you can feel the back end of the stitching, where you're not entirely sure where the rune work finishes.
Would Amira ask for a fairy light from Piper?
Amira can cast light.
All right. I forget who can cast what at this point.
As you cast light into the pocket, you can see the stitchwork actively moving, as if they are subducting into the seam line of the stitching and flowing deeper into somewhere past where it's actually stitched.
What's the password?
Oh.
Are you asking Piper? Because my brain kind of like clocked out the last sentence Joe just said.
Same. Can you repeat that, Joe?
Right. So, you're seeing basically as you light it up, you can see where the rune work continues in there. It seems to actively be almost moving and subducting into the seam line of the stitching in each of the pockets, as if it's generating new runes and then moving in toward the seam line and fading away and fading off. From what it looks like, almost, it's like the stitched rune work is moving past the stitched seam line, as if squeezing past it.
I'm
And
guessing
that
Amira
rune
said-
work doesn't seem to be strictly spell work either. It seems to be just ancient Sylvan translating to a constantly repeating phrase. Dance along with the laughing prince.
I have to Google that. Just for player's sake, not characters. Oh, now the keyboard doesn't want to work.
I need
Smiling Prince, you said, or the Laughing Prince?
Vinistra said, Amira's going to pull her head out of the coat and convey her findings. Shit's fucking Faye.
As Amira tries to pull her head out of the I'm kidding, you're fine.
Piper's like, well, yeah, I'm guessing, considering my ma's relations with apparently the ancient Earth Lord Fee Court. But for now, Avery, you can borrow this while we're going deep into a Frost Hag's area. I could light myself on fire and be fine. I'm immune.
Now, luckily, Avery doesn't experience a consequence in wearing this cloak, as, especially in some ancient cultures, aligned also with when this cloak was made. Changelings were considered in a lot of cases to be Fae themselves.
Can Amira cast Identify on it?
Amira can certainly try.
I thought changelings were still considered Fae.
Technically, yes.
Actually, back in Earth lore, all changelings were enchanted logs of wood that were made to look like a child.
Pinocchio shit.
And then but said log would, after a few days when the glamour goes down,
Amira's gonna cast Identify.
Okay.
it would drop it. That's why the changeling child would act weird for the few days until it turns into a log of wood.
Amira,
Then by that time, you don't know the child's gone.
as you attempt to cast Identify, the spell rebounds, bounces back at her like rubber, and shatters against her skin as you can hear the cackling of a Finnegan fox coming from the jacket.
Well, alright then. We will cross that bridge when we get to it 6 levels from now. I think that's what Wilsoni said. I think that's what Wilsoni said, something about an eldritch
can
horror
pursue
that
that
controls
anytime.
me. I know.
It's just some things are designed for certain level sets. If you
I
get
know,
into
but
it over your
players-
head, the fight will absolutely...
Vinistra said, right, Piper, you attune to it, you find out what it is. Maybe it'll let you become a fox.
Well, right now we need Avery not to freeze to death in a frost hag's house.
I can
let-
grab something out of this wardrobe. Apparently, it can generate shit.
One thing that
And I-
Amira does glean, though, in her attempt at least, is at least what it's capable of while not attuned to somebody, which is it's incredible winter wear.
Well, it's just, I can light myself on fire and be fine. I'm immune. I'll be warm. Very warm, but immune to the fire. I will not burn to death. So if I get cold enough, I can light myself on fire. I am also lava.
Which in our real
I
world is
don't
also
Do be
recorded as one
careful
of
in
the
case
most
you melt the
painful ways to
hag's
die.
floor and sink into it.
Let me make a point. I made a lava right now. Glass shoes and shoes, because you can make dirt into glass with heat. So she's gonna turn into glass shoes.
You want to use normal swirl for that?
Oh no, isn't it earthquakes and eruptions? So that means
It is.
lava and dirt. So she can create glass on herself.
Obsidian
That
is
way she's
also volcanic glass, if you want to go that route.
No, that's too breakable.
Fair enough.
This isn't
It is
Minecraft
incredibly
rule.
sharp but incredibly brittle.
It's good for scalpels and shit.
Incredibly
It's good for scalpels, but regular glass she can make, which is what she
Hilariously,
uses for.
actually, ruby's even better.
Wait, I can make ruby slippers?
No, I mean, ruby's even better for cutting than obsidian is.
Oh, okay. I was about to say if I can do that, I would like to go Wizard of Oz and this shit and wear ruby slippers and
Well,
click my
that's a setting
heels.
that I'm working on that is still very much in its concept phase.
Anyway,
Vinestra said, if you turned yourself into ice, would you not have to care about it?
unfortunately, the only forms I have are eruptions, earthquakes, overgrowth, decay, which is mostly mushrooms and rotting smells, and flood.
Because you abandoned your classic seasonal Eladrin state for disaster
I
Eladrin.
did-
The water and just froze.
I didn't abandon it. We magically forced it to happen with a lot of explosions and magical bullshit into a hydra.
A rather disastrous event, if you will.
While I was a bee, mind you.
Let's not even get into the Dark Eladrin. They have a fucking serpent form to choose from.
No thanks, I choose life.
And a clown form. That's what it is as well.
No thanks, I choose life. That's all I'm gonna say to that is no thanks, I choose life.
Yeah. As far as strictly non-magical properties, however, that Amir is able to glean, it is incredible winter wear. And apparently, if it is actually out and about in the world, the fur color may change depending on which biome you are stepping foot in.
It's gonna turn white. Avery's gonna blend in. Oh, that's so cool.
I am become invisible.
You can make yourself super pale. And it will help.
Vinestra said,
do that just by
anyway,
doing this.
shall we
I
get
shift-
going?
I shift back into my standard changeling form. Very, very pale skin, all white eyes, silver hair.
Yes. I was like, yes.
OOC. I hope the hag can't animate dead on it.
Quit giving the DM ideas.
You're right.
Oh, nothing's been given that hasn't already been considered.
I give Megan the ideas. I never give Joe the ideas because
Sometimes you
Megan won't
do.
Sometimes I do when it's hilarious shit, not the sadistic
When
shit.
I am given ideas, I usually outright say, don't give me ideas.
Got plenty of PDFs for you.
Totally fair. All right.
Let's say it was Loki given a hobby, made a hobby, given ideas.
Potential tools and what have you. It's always good fun.
Over 9 gigabytes.
Woo.
Good God.
So as you all
Yes.
trudge toward the silverwood tree and magically shift yourselves back to that steamy little cavern in the continent of Kirin on the outskirts of the town of Arcala. Feeling that rush of chill smack into the lot of you and adapting to it best you can, as all of you are used to transitions like this. At this point, y'all are level 24. I imagine you've gone to extreme environments randomly sometimes with teleportation.
It's like walking into a freezer.
Yeah, or opening the door in your closet and going from a Shire-like biome straight to Mount Doom out of fucking nowhere. Wow, it's like we skipped 3 books. Still, in spite of himself, and despite the heavily furred armor that he has, and doing his best to kind of drag Violet along, Halcyon does shiver a little bit, as you can see just goosebumps start to pockmark on whatever exposed skin he still has. She's naturally a snow elf. I'm not. I need to adjust to this. And then there's Nick, just again casually carrying Angel under his arm, like he's carrying a goddamn cardboard cutout.
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
There's also Nick just casually carrying Angel under his arm, like he's carrying a cardboard cutout.
And then,
Vinestra said, "Can he swing her by the legs?"
I wouldn't dare. I would take her to the club, not use her as a club. She can be hard-headed, not that hard-headed.
With her arms out like that she's more a pickaxe.
And of course my brain pictures the most cursed fucking animation sequence. Just swinging an angel model like Minecraft until it breaks a fucking block. Or worse, the Skyrim animation. Just...
Does Angel have diamond skin at all?
Not at the moment she doesn't. She has a scaling ability that she can do when she's conscious, but right now she is soft and wonderful. Sue.
V and Amira will take point to lead to the hag's lair where they found it.
All right.
Yeah.
Trudging right along, you guys do eventually get, well, off toward that wonderful little tailor. Do you guys address the workers there, or just get to work trying to get into the entrance? Given that their proximity was notably a suspicious thing. Let's see here about their notes as well. Here we go.
So it probably.
Vinestra said, Vi's going to cast Detect Good and Evil. Once close.
One, we don't have a. Two,
casting it out. Of the two people that run the tailor shop, both Galavan Volstrung and Nefri. Galavan being the Frost Furbolg and, well, I believe the half Frost Furbolg and Snow Elf, of the sort of more giant variety than the... Brain just turned off. Not cattle variety, but, well, yes, cattle variety, but there was a word that I was looking for. Bovine variety. The Frost Furbolg and Snow Elf, half mix of Galvan Volstrung and Nephi Volstrung, the Snow Elf halfling mix. Nephi does not bring up that sort of sense of sickness that evil generally tends to, however. Galvan is awash with it as you immediately turn almost sickly, feeling his presence under the influence of that spell.
What did I miss? Sorry.
Venestra did a detect good and evil on the two people that run the tailor shop, both Galvan Volstrung, the half snow elf, half frost furbolg, and Nephi Volstrung, the half snow elf, half halfling. Half halfling, that's fucked to say. Yeah, while Nephi seemed to give off no real indication or feeling of evil from the use of that spell, nausea is how generally evil presents when using that spell, and yeah, Venestra almost felt herself go sickly, feeling that come off of the direction, at least, of where Galavan is.
So, like, are these tailors like...
Venestra said, so he's Fae?
He's at the very least evil. You did detect good and evil, right?
Evil and good detects more unusual entities, I thought.
Here, let me check. Give me a second. I think I have that one.
That might be primeval awareness. Hold on.
Detect good and evil for the duration. You know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, if you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, gotcha.
So you know, yeah.
Yeah, so, he doesn't stink of fae, but undeath wafts off of him in droves.
Is this like a person in town?
This is...
Venestra said, divine sense is the one you are thinking of, Joe.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a that's weird. I feel like that's a
feels
misnomer.
Like it should be.
I feel like divine
That
sense should be the
feels
one
like
that
it should
detects
be
the creatures and then detect... What? Yeah, that seems a little bass-ackwards. Hello.
Welcome to the. I got yelled at start today.
We barely finally got to start, and apparently my red fox coat is very. We're not losing that, but
It's
Avery's
very
borrowing it
enchanted.
as a gold. Very
I'm letting you
enchanted.
know. Today was awful. I got yelled at today in church, and I'm having a moment. So
It's all good. Hey,
if
let me
anybody
provide you a
wants to know
distraction
what I've
so
had a
that
rough
you
day,
can, you know, get a smile on your face and all that shit.
Celia, beat up Celia.
You went to Whataburger. I'm jealous.
Real quick, Megan, you'll find this
Venestra
hilarious.
said, the camera is lagging.
A little
I
bit.
see Megan now.
Fine for me.
But you'll find this hilarious. Amira cast Identify on the red fox coat, and it rebound like rubber with the sound of a laugh of a fennec fox. Apparently,
Did we find out the origin of Piper's family?
Yes, after
Tried.
Piper realized that, she pulled it out, she looked at it, looked at Avery, looked at Amira, and was like, hold on, starts looking through everything, was like, okay, why is there a donkey tail from a game in here? This wasn't here before. Amira, could you check this, please? Because Amira can, more thoroughly investigate being tiny. Tiny little kitty cat, and also you were T-posing.
Well, I wasn't T-pose. I told you to let Nicodemus and Halcyon kind of lead the two girls, considering it there's NPCs.
Violet is T-posing, Angel is T-posing, but under Nicodemus's arm, like a cardboard cutout.
Vinestra said, speaking of, Angel and Violet now have flowers in their hair.
Great.
Nick Druid crafted some monkey orchids into Angel's hair, and Halcyon requested that Piper Druid craft a shitload of violets into Violet's hair, so that it could
My
then elevate
favorite
into a braid.
orchids. My favorite orchids are actually bleeding heart orchids or dove orchids.
Ah.
They're called hope orchids or something like that. They look like little doves. They're so freaking cute.
So cute.
You should look them up. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful flowers.
I will later.
You joined us just in time to find out the tailor is in fact an undead being.
I want to point this out. This is going to be called the Library of the Gods. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Oh my god. Before we start, we have to admire my craftsmanship. Okay, hold up.
By all means, cast away the dismay and replace it with excitement.
Okay.
Also sounds like you had a lot of caffeine.
We're gonna press. Okay, so we're gonna press the button.
Ooh.
It works. I did it.
Pretty.
I did it. And that's the Lord of the Rings one. And look, Rachel figured out I just needed to put batteries and press the power button. There's a power button.
Batteries, who'd have thunk?
Oh, hey, you have one of the book nooks that I have to.
Nice.
You do? You have one of those? That's really fun. Let's start this fight. So they're an undead person, right?
It's the Japanese train one.
Oh, you finished the Japanese. That one was hard.
Yes, to catch you up, there was a brief bit of, going over conversation, applying inks, and then doing a lot of, at least attempting to get the sheets semi-functional. Christ on a stick. And then, a bit of weaving flowers through the T-posing people's hair, and then finally leaving Ormer, popping through the tree, approaching the tailor shop, scanning the two tailors to see if there's anything suspect, and of course,
Can we bring
one
the
of the
house?
tailors...
Or do we leave it behind? Do we bring the house or we leave it behind?
Left behind the house, just popped through the trees.
Oh, so we're gonna take a sleep over there. Okay, awesome.
I mean, there's still Evergreen Estate. That can't exactly move, so...
I know. But my house does. My house does.
Right, but either way...
We should probably come back so that way people there don't age too much.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, in which case it'll follow along mid-quickness. But... Yeah, on approaching the tailor's shop and scanning the two individuals that, of course, work there, both Galvan Volstrung and Nephi Volstrung, Galvan seems to radiate heavily an aura of undeath.
I thought we checked this, man. At least we tried.
This is the first time you guys have gotten around to check it after finding out that the entrance was near the tailor's.
Yeah, but I'm saying that we checked his entire personal being.
And he seemed
when
fine.
we were there first time.
Yeah, you didn't
he
magically check
seemed
it, you looked it
fine.
over, but he seemed fine.
I asked you with super keen smells if there was something wrong.
Nothing you could detect.
Vinestra said, it could also have been recent too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Also a valid possibility.
My By the way Bruce used the ink was he dyed his hair with it.
Oh. Okay.
Punk rock Bruce.
Yes.
Punk rock Bruce, bunking it up.
Hell yeah.
He's like, my hammer's too pretty to paint. I'll paint myself.
But of course, there you guys are, kind of already outside of the tailor shop, having just recently gleaned that information. As Angel, you now come to consciousness
Amira's
in
going
full
to watch
animation
Angel
under
go
Nick's arm.
noodly as she ceases T-posing in Nick's arm.
Hey, Lovey, welcome back. And then also, Violet, you awaken with now your back right thigh particularly sore as Halcyon has been essentially shoving you to this location while you've been T-posing in dog form. He can't carry you at your size. If he had a dolly with which to carry you like a fridge, he would have.
I'm going to describe this. I'm letting you know that I don't have a sore butt. I'm letting you know what happened. He had a leash because it has a leash. So something happened to her. Gently drags her like she's in like ADD, like this, like dissociated.
No, fair enough.
That moment when your soul takes a vacation. Right.
Yeah, which I did also exemplify with also describing those giant dog eyes having rolled up into the back of your head.
Oh yeah. That's one of those moments of dissociation. You're just like, I went to.
However, as they roll back, they don't roll back down. No, they just go the full 360 and come up.
We.
Okay, so what do we do here? Also, welcome back, Violet. You look pretty.
Starving. So, this thing is undead.
Apparently may have either happened.
Vinestra said, confront the corpse and burn it if needed.
Do you want me to confront it? I mean, Violet can confront this thing.
I mean, it's your hat.
I mean, I wanted to confront something all day, considering we've had to deal with an organist who thinks that she's a soloist, who thinks she's actually an accompanist, and she doesn't know how to do that.
Anyway.
Well,
right.
Violet, you mentioned you were hungry.
I'm very hungry.
Honestly, seems up your alley. If they piss us off enough.
I've never had undead cracklins. We can ask Ezekern about making a new type of cracklin. Maybe an undead cracklin would taste even more interesting. Maybe it'd be like some type of fermented bean or something, like some of those soybeans that are fermented.
Let's find out if they got any information for us first.
I know. She pulls out a bag of cracklins, and starts eating.
Okay, as y'all enter the tailor shop, I believe actually a couple of you had commissions in here already. Remind me what you guys had working?
No. I didn't have anything.
If I did, it's been long forgot.
Violet wanted a jacket made.
Vinestra said, Avery was having a sexy outfit made.
That's right.
Violet wanted a new outfit, like a...
Of which the first one to greet you, of course, is that short, slight, half halfling, half snow elf, Neffy Volstrung. Looking up to your imposing figure. Ah, Violet. It's been a minute. Your commission's been done for a few days. You haven't come back into town to get it. Also, Your changeling fellow. Well, theirs is plenty well done. Added some augmentations myself.
Between and
Took a while.
So I have a partial question.
Well, sure.
She's going
And
to lock.
Let me get your things boxed up really quickly.
That'd be great.
She retreats to a back room.
I'm going to let you know. I want to make sure that I'm going to send Nicodemus after her. She looks over at Nicodemus. Can you send Navarre after that thing?
Snaps his fingers as, almost like spilling ink from his body, Navarre materializes that full adamantine drake and just basically begins lizard crawling along the walls and ceiling back toward that back area.
What an alien isolation.
Navarre's just that way. Do you not understand when we actually found him the first time what he was? He's just like this. He's creepy and we love it.
I know, but that's like an aliens reference with how you described it.
Absolutely. As soon as his skill type switched to adamantine, and it's like, okay, so Navarre is now just Ranger Pet Xenomorph. We're gonna make this fucked, and as fucked as we can get it.
Like, this is the first time in a while we've had a description of his goings about.
I'm letting you know that. So can I smell the undead person, or is the undead person there? Because the Fae was not the undead person, right?
Smelling
The other guy
for
would.
it. Well, you didn't catch the smell when you first investigated the man. Go and roll me a perception check.
Okay, hold on.
With advantage, because of keen smell, of course.
Before I actually get Violet's dice from the top of the shelf. An 18 plus whatever her perception was like a 9 or 10 or something. It's like an 11 total. With her.
Okay, so 29.
Yeah. Damn it.
There
My face.
is the subtlest difference in his aroma. First of all, quite now heavily covered with cologne, while he previously wasn't before. Just barely buried under that enormous and almost overbearing aroma of sort of beech and pine. There's the subtlest smell of iron. And not rotting citrus, but graveyard soil.
That's hopeful. That makes me feel so much better.
Absolutely, totally.
So
Very reassuring.
Intermingled with that aroma of graveyard soil also is the slightest note of sage.
So when did you die?
As Neffy makes her way back with the packages, she doesn't smell like this at all. As far as Vanistra's detection went off, she's fine. She's not undead.
Is Navarre over her on the ceiling, like doing the weird alien shit on the ceiling?
Yeah, checking on her, making sure she's not doing anything suspect. She seems to have just come back with the boxes.
So I have a question. And this is going to be a very easy question to answer. And if you decide to run, it's going to be interesting as well.
Run? I don't imagine why I would need to run. I've just collected your commissions.
You want to tell me why he wasn't undead 2 days ago, kind of?
Excuse me? Where is this coming from?
I can smell undead on him. He's not alive.
I have incense, mind you, if you need help with perhaps a clogged nose or anything like that.
No, it's not clogs. I like foreign things, and he smells like dead earth. I'm literally basically a dragon that smells that kind of a thing. That's my job. That's what my nose is for.
Okay, so for everybody who's gone into the tailor shop, what's everybody's passive insight?
My passive insight.
22.
22.
Oh, wait a minute. 21, sorry.
21.
With the stats.
Wait, I don't
Vinestra
need
said
my
25.
25.
sight. 10 plus 10. Oh, it's 20.
20.
Angel's passive is 25, but only for children things.
Okay. Yeah, so actually, you just barely made it, Avery. The DC for that was 20.
Oh, mine's a 21, my passive.
Yeah. So
That
pretty
was
much
the
actually
difference between 20 and 24 right there.
everybody in the shop manages to pick up on this. She seems incredibly nervous, despite the forced smile on her face, customer service facade. There is a nervous energy that is visibly present in her body language. And just as well, while she is half snow elf, typically they wouldn't have a need to wear a turtleneck.
I'm gonna go over to her really, really fast and pull down.
Those are some bites.
I was gonna pull down the turtleneck.
It's a bite. I have a question. Did she smell like my aunt did when she was a vampire?
She does not reek of undeath. However, being this close to her, you do catch the scent of the slightly sort of dried aroma of iron. As Violet, as Piper, you quickly pull down the turtleneck. You don't need to... God damn it. And you see a series of two-pronged puncture marks on her neck. It seemed fresh enough to have happened within the last couple of days.
That's why he smells like her. He's a vampire.
And he hasn't left his office in a couple of days, and he's kept the curtains drawn in.
You like being a ghoul, that's up to you.
No. Also not Vampire the Masquerade rules in this regard.
I know what I mean. I know what I'm saying. That was also a term in like 16 different books that I read.
I'm doing what I can to keep him from being in pain.
Why is he in pain?
He was...
Vinestra said, has he fed?
Obviously.
That was implied by the 2 puncture marks on
The neck of the lady. She hasn't turned.
Let me see if I still have the rest of that hand that he can just eat. She dives through her bag and basically finds the bleeding
Blood hag hand.
Yeah, the other rest of the hand, that blood hag. Would this help?
The never-ending bleeding hand.
It will never stop bleeding.
That will help. That will help.
I can't give you the rest of her body because I gave it to my technically one of my patrons that pays me to go and hunt things.
Right. What are you all here for? You forgot about your commissions days ago.
Do you want to tell me what he did? Are we going to have a conversation about that?
He did what the change made him do, and I allowed him to keep doing it so that he would not do it to another. And he was as remorseful as he was thankful.
That's not what I'm asking. You want to tell me why in the entire town Hag's entrance is in front of your house? You want to tell me why each child is missing hair and
She
ripped
walks
teeth?
back to her desk, her ledger, her alembic, where she, trades coin and everything. Reaches under the table.
I would not if I were you.
I don't have a choice. And you hear a click as a series of clicking, knocking, and locking sounds scatter across the walls, and you can hear a series of heavy bars almost seal into the door.
I'm going to let you know she's going to shift into dog form, full dog form at this point. You want to know what she did to me?
You can leave politely, and you can leave the town and never come back, and hopefully that means you are spared, and so are we.
We're past that.
Or I press another button. Free my husband from his recent torment, and turn my dreams into a crater.
I'm going to literally take her and grab her by the neck like a dog does and basically pull her around the counter.
Roll me an athletics grapple check, if you would, please.
It's bigger than her. I can pull her away from that button. With a 19. 19 plus my strength modifier, which is a plus 8 plus 9.
For athletics, with the... Yeah.
In beast form?
She got a 16 minus 2.
You want to try this again?
As you press her against the wall, there are tears falling from her eyes. Please just leave. She's already poisoned us enough.
I'm planning on killing her.
I'm going to push every memory from the abyss through this woman's head and ink dying in front of me.
No.
Ooh, that's lovely. 400 years of torture.
Okay, I'm going to roll a wisdom save for her, because in her already unstable state...
I want to break her. I want to break her out of it. The abyss would...
That would do psychic damage, would it not?
It should.
This is not dealing damage per se in that sense. However, I am rolling, if I roll low on the wisdom save, she will roll on the madness table. So, that was cocked.
I'm going to give her advantage. I'm going to let, one... We are all mad here.
That turns it
That's
into
one
a
of my
flat
favorite.
roll, so I'm going to roll again. Okay, that means I'm going to take...
I'm going to give her advantage.
Yeah. She had disadvantage by default, which turns it into a flat roll.
Give her another.
That's cocked. That's better. That's an 18. There are tears pouring from her eyes.
She's feeling everything Violet has felt her entire life, going through her entire body. a taste for something little natural now. That you could have help from the people behind you to be free of her. And instead of asking for help, you decided to join.
Roll a persuasion or intimidation check with advantage.
Does a natural 20 do anything for me?
Natural 20 is a crit. I do have crit skill checks as a house rule in this game.
She's just a natural 20.
Even if she didn't, I could roll persuasion with a plus 17 because I have expertise.
If you want to add your persuasion to this, you may.
She's right.
If you want to add your persuasion to this, even for flavor, you may.
Has expertise. Angel has like a higher persuasion check than Avery does. And I haven't even added her sheet.
Every little bit helps, but regardless.
Vinestra said, "Can V add her intimidation to it?"
Sure, yeah.
I'm
I'm going to say this: the natural 20 succeeded, but any additional rolls here, I mean, for flavor's sake, go right ahead.
I kind of want to add my persuasion for flavor.
Yeah.
So
All these
and the madness.
All of the people that I know.
5, so 22.
No, I'll let Angel roll. Let's see what Angel's got. Black Rick.
Rolled a 5, but that's
36.
22.
36, 22, natural 20.
47.
And almost a fucking 50. Jesus.
That's what Angel Sheet is. Angel Sheet is just persuasion. That's how she does the shit she does. All she do.
Up in the heavenly rings, Royard's looking down like, damn, she almost convinced me.
I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, it helps that your necklace naturally helps your
You get a charisma
persuasion.
bonus from your fucking vestige, yeah. Of course, that's an overpowered thing to do to a bard, but regardless.
He looks over at all the people behind you. All these people that I trust
Tears
with my
are
life.
freely falling from her eyes. And you know what? I will say this, given all of those positives. She is shocked to essentially stunned silence and is essentially non-responsive and utterly traumatized. However, you hear a series of heavy footfalls, very clearly indicative of the half Goliath, half snow elf. That was this woman's husband, stepping in behind you, that scent of vampiric undeath plain on him.
I'm so excited that Mara's above his head right now.
It's in the broom closet. There's a hole in there that looks like a foxhole. It is not.
I will heal you and then you first before we go down the hole. And you will go to my house. You will sit in my house and you will wait till I get there and you're going to drink. She pulls out 2 of those golden vials. All of this. And after you finish vomiting, we'll talk.
I won't survive
looks over-
it.
You're going to survive. She looks over at Vinestra and I've already healed my aunt.
I helped her willingly. I am doing this so that you unhand my wife.
Looks over. I'm letting you know there's a mental thought, Avery, and she wants you to pass this along to Vinestra. Kill this man and bring him back to life. Now. This is an attack. Finish him. Like we did with my aunt.
That's what we did with her aunt.
Vinestra said, "Just want to point out it's Piper who needs to reincarnate him."
Yeah. We don't care. You just gotta do it.
Then I guess, yeah, I do mentally relate to both Piper and Vinestra Angel wants him to die so that he can be brought back to life.
You mean, Violet? It's gonna take me an hour to set up the stuff. Let's see how long.
She literally pulls the scroll from the middle of her, like, the
Regeneration
collar.
doesn't have to happen reincarnation or revivify, things like that don't have to happen super quickly. You can leave him for a while if you need to.
No, I'm not doing that because his wife is standing right next to us. I literally have a scroll with all of that written on the scroll, remember?
Okay.
I had a bunch of made for the stupid abyss.
Even just looking back at him, and in this shop, it's definitely shadier than it normally is. I mean, like, the curtains are drawn in, even the firelight is dimmed down a bit. This man looks decidedly more monstrous in a number of ways than when you last saw him. His teeth look naturally sharper. There seem to be elongated nails almost protruding like bone from his fingers. He's hunched with desperate hunger and still fighting to restrain himself.
Violet is going to stuff the stupid hand in his mouth.
Vinestra said, V is going to approach the man. If you wish to make up for your past mistakes, then do so.
Like I said, the entry's in the broom closet.
I don't care about the entrance.
And as you stuff the hand into his mouth, I mean, he is starving. That will lead to an impulsive snapping bite. So...
Tail.
Okay, does a 14 hit you?
No. That means the hand goes in his mouth.
And your hands unscathed.
You see his previously piercing ice blue eyes, crimson as they are now, intensify as he drinks in the ever-bleeding hand from this blood hag.
Enjoy.
Joe, I've got you turned all the way up and I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm speaking softly while the microphone is distanced from my face.
So, what are you planning on doing?
Vinestra said, so do we want to do the kill and res strat?
We're all talking about this mentally too. We're just like, yes, yes, yes.
Fast,
This
or I change my
looks
mind.
so suspicious from the outside, like...
We're all giving each other weird glances.
Let's just casually murder the tailor.
And resurrect.
We'll be fine.
God damn it, I'm reminded of that fucking Supernatural line with Crowley. They ate my tailor!
Okay. First of all, we've had two. You want to know how many times we had to bring people back because shit like this? First of all, there's Cosmo, which we had to decapitate him to get the demon out of him and reincarnate him so people would leave him the fuck alone. Second of all,
I had to permanently polymorph him.
Oh, you got a demon in you? No. We're not gonna bother with an exorcism here. Decapitation.
Well, no, it's because the issue is this was the third demon lord that took an interest to my brother.
Oh, I know.
Because for whatever reason, his unique tieflingness drew them in like freaking flies to poop.
What do you know? We did this at the dinner table. This was a two-step and a slicey slice.
Vinestra said, V is going to grab the man and just stab his heart.
With a wooden stake?
With a wooden stake? Please let it be thematic.
With a silver-tipped wooden stake. No, wait, silver is
What
for...
you stab him in the heart with is actually important for a vampire fledgling. Sorry, vampire spawn.
Would Vinestra know? Would that be in her arsenal of knowledge?
That, honestly, that's multiversal levels of common knowledge of, like, yeah, stake to the heart will generally do it. A piercing weapon made of wood, generally speaking.
Can I just push this along and use dissonant whispers?
Oh yes, please. Help. Let's see what I can do while we're doing this.
Hit.
I want to see what I could do while we do this.
Yep, V is gonna stake it.
Yeah, stake it.
We raising the stakes? Is there any?
Yeah. We will
Is there
count
any
this
metal
as
on
a
it?
surrendered attack, which in other words means count this as a crit.
Ooh, he's letting us do it.
So the hit doesn't matter. So if it's crit, does that mean the damage is doubled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damage.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's 52 damage then.
52. Even for a spawn, not quite enough to take him down. However, how much from the stake?
52 psychic damage.
Is there any metal on him? I might help this along a little bit.
Oh, plenty. Dude's got a wedding ring. And jewelry and a number of other things.
5th level sheet metal.
Gonna fucking cook him like a baked potato.
Oh, yum.
Well, let's see how much damage that stake do.
Oh yeah.
Ministra said, what damage should I be rolling, Joe?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's say... You know what? Shits and giggles. I'll change this based on what your answer is. What type of wood are you using?
What would she have in her bag?
She does have holy wood in her.
What's in her vampire killing kit?
I do have holy wood.
You do have holy wood.
I have Hollywood too.
Still, tree varieties is a fun question.
I just realized.
What variety is this holy wood?
What breed? What species?
I'm letting the player improvise, and that'll influence what damage we roll here.
Oh, hold on real quick.
Technically, I have a question. If a stake is... I have a question.
I'm gonna wait for an answer first.
Okay.
And it's being typed.
Let me find the name.
Fantastic.
Okay. Can I ask it?
Ask your question as long as it's not related to the stake.
I wanted to ask about a snake with
Mahogany from Malkia 7.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes! It's a desk with a mahogany!
Is it the wooden mahogany desk?
It's a mahogany!
Yes. Are you ready?
So breathe fire.
Okay. Mahogany. So, purely because of the reference to our beloved Team 4-Star, and even though they were probably referencing something else, the reference to King Ymir being a master of the land of the dead, we'll say,
He's the master of heaven. He's one of the ones. He's like one of the gods, like the gatekeeper of the gods.
one of the lesser gods, but one of the more important, despite being the lesser.
What does Vanessa say? Hold on. The text and stuff.
Okay, first,
Oh.
1d4 piercing. Second, 14d4 radiant. Double that total, and then add your dexterity modifier.
My. Cold.
Vinistra said, what was the dice?
1d4 piercing, and then 14d4 radiant, doubling your total, and then adding your dex modifier. And proficiency. Honestly, stabbing somebody with a fucking wooden stake.
Right there. That's my bite.
When they're letting you. I mean, honestly, that's a proficiency benefit.
Guys, do you want to meet the flooper?
So 1d4 plus 14d4 plus dex and professor.
Yep. And the d4s get doubled. Well, their total gets doubled anyway.
Scoot?
Is it
What?
Scoot, come here, Miss Scoot.
Oh, right.
What do you want? Can you give me the ball?
Big, beautiful German Shepherd.
Blue.
94.
All right, and was that doubled or before it got doubled?
Doubled.
Cool.
Oh wait, I can have y'all in here while I make myself some ramen. Jesus.
All right. Casually just jamming this into his chest as you all hear the wicked crack of bone. Just passing past this man's ribs. You all watch a flash of sunlight as this man's previously, admittedly pristine Goliath skin suddenly gets rendered to ash before you, and a skeleton in fine clothes settles itself on the ground.
Oh, hell yeah. Get this done with. Violet pulls out a scroll. Let's see if we get Mad Mariphus today. It's Violet music.
Are you sure you don't want me to do it? Because then we could have Wilsoni funness.
Is Sony going to add to the flavor of this conversation?
I mean, it's better than a Mad Mercerius.
I would prefer a Mad. I would prefer him to be upset, considering I'm upset.
Vinestra said, just bring him back as not a vampire, you too.
I mean, is he going to be mad at...
Stop arguing over which surgeon and get this man in surgery.
I'm letting you know the Angel's like, she takes the scroll and she opens the scroll and just like, I'll do it. As far as summoning the person, they don't get mad at me. They just make me birth another child. It's her whole thought process.
Avery's raising Avery's hand.
What? Avery? What's Avery saying?
I imagine this is very difficult for his wife. Can I cast Calm Emotions on her?
That would be great.
By all means, she's been triply traumatized in the matter of 20 fucking seconds.
I do cast it.
She does not resist, as the tears still flowing, her face just goes neutral.
I'm going to let you know that he literally opens up the scroll and then summons. Not Mercerius. Summons. Oh my god. Mariphus,
okay. And which resurrection type spell are you using here?
I'm going to use reincarnate because it's what we need.
Reincarnate?
Well, I have resurrection. But resurrection, you said, doesn't on the specific type of person.
Oh no, resurrection spells will remove any curses or diseases that previously affected the target.
Oh, then she's going to take whichever one she needs. So if she just needs resurrection,
which one is
she's going to fall.
Specifics are necessary.
8 of each. Just mark off whichever one we need.
I need to know which one you're using.
Reincarnate, because he could come out as something cool like your aunt did, or like as a amethyst earth genasi, or a copper dragon.
We need more.
As a quadruple trauma, she's going to trade out the mountain that she was so happy climbing for potentially a fucking rat man. Let's see how this goes.
No, we need a crystal dragon here. We need more.
Vinestra said, don't you make him a short king.
Joe, you're not allowed to have any short species in the table.
I'm rolling the dice, and unfortunately, where the dice fall will be where the dice fall.
Let them have their size difference.
Please let them have their size difference, just where it is.
If the dice gods deem it to be, then their size difference will remain. She's already naturally a little bit short, being half halfling. It's fucked to say. Half halfling. It's like I'm stuttering, but I'm not.
Because we can't say the legally distinct Tolkien one because we don't have the book yet.
Don't need to piss them off.
What am I going to do? Which one do you want me to use? She looks over at Violet. There are 2 different types of scrolls. She's just gonna open whichever one. We're gonna roll and see which one.
Wait! She looks over at the wife. Are you happy with his size? Are you happy with how he is as a person?
I married him, didn't I?
Good point. Just resurrection.
Fine. We have the resurrection scroll.
Okay.
We.
She looks over it. She puts it next to his body. We're just resurrecting him.
Okay. Before I reveal the answer, just a reminder. Inspiration can be used on percentile rolls if you spend 2 on either fellow players or even the DM.
Joe, we changed our mind. We're doing resurrect.
Okay.
Not reincarnate.
Okay. For a view into an alternate world, would you like to know what I rolled?
Yes.
Kobold.
Oh, thank God we changed our minds.
Which technically they would still have a size difference, just in the opposite direction.
She looks over it. She knows that Merphis is going to show up in a minute. I'm just waiting here. Whatever happens,
As you cast out the resurrection, the visage of Merphis, without his blunt, shows up, so his chilled, usual persona is not present. You want me to resurrect this prick?
Piper's just gonna quietly make the Pineapple Express weed coffee. Very quietly in the corner.
Children willingly to save his and his wife's own skin. She was not aware he was a willing and enjoying participant.
What?
Did you not hear him say he did it willingly?
Not the enjoying part. Willingly can still mean 2 things.
Willing but not wanting to do it, but still doing it to save your own skin, which I can understand. Willing and enjoying.
Let me clarify. Enjoying staying alive, a bit of self-absorbed joy for his survival.
So self-preservation, like every other
Narcissistic self-preservation.
While this is all going down,
Or
Avery's just
cowardly.
thinking, I need something that can help me cast calm emotions more often instead of wasting a spell slot as I hand it out with like candy.
She literally just keeps handing him the stuffed animal. She's like, here's one, you can have it now. Angel's like, I have a stuffed animal.
Angel spent a lot of money, and I mean a lot
Vinistra
of money,
said
a bunch of fucking
he
stuffed
can
animals
make
with
up
calm
for it and
emotions.
repent while being alive.
Vinistra has a point.
You cast the spell, and I would be a dick to refuse it. To be fair, I am a neutral god. I really don't care if you're resurrecting an asshole, but knowing that it's you, I still feel tempted to question it. And he lays his hand on the skeletal chest as it once again fills with flesh and skin, though it is left oddly pink, like a freshly shed reptile.
So, Nicodemus, do you want to make this your first, smiting / like thing that you do to a human? It's up to you, but this seems like a you thing.
I'll pass because I heard the conversation from where I was being sent.
She looks over at Nick.
Oh. Where did you go, by the way, mind you? Where did you go? I imagine it was one of the hells, right?
I think he's talking to the guy.
Nick is talking down to the guy who is now on the floor.
Before Merphis leaves, Piper gives the freshly brewed Pineapple Express weed coffee. I would like for you to try this, see if it's up to your tastes.
Down to the sluggish pits of Madrell. May have been a few seconds up here, but that was thousands of years already.
What you get?
To be fair, Madrell is one of the ones where it being thousands of years in a span of a couple of seconds makes sense.
She looks over at Merphis. She's like, try the coffee. She usually does really well, so it might be up to your taste.
I'm busy at the moment, and he dissipates.
Does he not take the cup with him?
He does not in this case. He seems to be in a mood.
Does anybody want a God Weed God coffee combo?
She literally goes into her necklace and finds one of the Merefist kids and says, "Take this to your dad and tell him I'm not taking no for an answer."
Okay.
Vinestra said, "Dang, he stiffed a spliff."
Not anymore. Those kids can make him do
One of
anything.
your small-ass kids are going to walk up to you being like, "Hey, Dad, you left this in the living room." Son of a fuck.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of somebody yelling at their kid, "Hey, go get your dad a beer."
Except it's the opposite. In this case, it's like, "Hey, Dad, here's a beer. You are 7, and you're pissy."
I'm also doing it because they can take it to the other half of that situation, and she'll make him take it, considering he's being a little pissy at the moment. Considering there's two halves to that situation. Hey, Mom, look what this. The other mom sent this for him.
When you all leave, we're going to lock up this place again. If we find her outside our building, and you all have not come out before she does, we'll blow this place to hell in hopes that we take her with us.
You know what you're going to do? You're going to listen to me right now. Right now. You're going to get out of here. You're going to go sit with the Karain and deal with the fact that you need to basically, as she sticks this big fruit juice in their mouth and sticks it all the way through their teeth, swallow.
He swallows and nothing happens because he's just resurrected sans maladies.
It's not that. Remember, it's about the runes.
Yep, none present.
And she does it to the woman. I want to do it. We're doing it to the woman too, so she doesn't have any issues either.
She drinks it down and, yeah, no issues. Her only exposure to runes have been the trauma that you dumped into her skull.
Piper looked at Angel. How many favors would we owe Zeus if we ask him to modify her memory?
I'm not measuring her memory.
Okay.
Trauma dump.
Vinestra said, "Best listen to her. We'll figure out your two's atonements later."
You know, you know what you can do? You can serve trying to fix my family's name, considering you screwed it over so many times. Go to the castle. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not dealing with it. If you don't go straight there, I promise you. Actually, Navarre, do you want to do me one solid favor? Looks up at Navarre.
The slow drop from the ceiling like a fucking xenomorph about to fucking have its second mouth go through the back of your skull. What?
She pulls out one of those displacer beasts, like haunches from one of the ones that they killed because it was literally trying to kill a bunch of people.
Yes, pearly white teeth drooling like the fun. I'm going full OG monster horror with them right now.
The faster you get them inside of my house, come back here, the faster you get the haunch. And tell the guy at the gate he needs to put them in whatever cell we need to, considering they basically almost killed half the town.
Which one of you can run faster?
Oh, he's got a chase on there.
Oh my god, he's...
Galavan scoops up Neffy full bridal style and fucking bolts. And he lowers himself to the ground like a cheetah ready to fucking hunt down a gazelle and bolts with a growl and a scraping carve into the floor as he leaves.
Oh, is he gonna do the herding dog thing? Like, oh, no, you're not going this way.
Vicious and potentially hungry herding dog, yes. Given what Navarre observed, there is a small percentage chance that they may not make it to the castle, given what they were complicit in.
No, they have to make it, considering that he won't get a displacer beast if he doesn't do it. It's food.
Yes, and he's currently busy weighing Displacer Beast nuggets or asshole tartar.
Rick did mention in general he's gonna be heading towards bed. He'll be around for 10 more minutes.
Okay, and I will say this, given the time that it is actually at this time of night, as much as I wanted to start the fucking combat encounter and as much as I had everything ready, the amount of delays and everything that happened, honestly, we could probably end that here, push it off to next session. That means all in all, with the actual roleplay that's happened, this is one of my shorter sessions. But at least then everything will be there, ready, and actually able to happen. Because
And we can start literally from there.
that's going to take
We're at the entrance
hours.
right now, so there's really not much left to do.
Right.
Well, but there's a bunch of tunnels. There's like 3 to 4 miles of tunnel. That's what the scariest part is, because it's gonna be scary to go down there in the first place.
Dungeon crawl. We're
Correct.
gonna fuck some shit up.
Vinestra said, we could also continue it during the week too.
We could.
Since Vinestra is got off work for the week.
Yeah. I have a
Because-
little bit of schedule availability because I had to take off work to make sure that my dad couldn't get sick before his surgery. That said, that's all prior to the 24th, 25th. Because the 24th, I'm going to be waking up at the ass crack of fucking Y to go to the hospital with my dad for the start of his surgery. And then I'll be probably sleeping in that waiting room a little bit. So 24th, 25th.
Ass
It'll
crack
be
of fucking
stretching
Y.
into that next week. Either way. Yeah, we might be able to do a continuation session at some time in the middle of the week here.
I
It'll
will say
be-
this: ass crack of fucking Y is the best phrase I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, got to be at the hospital at 5:30 a.m. So,
Jesus Christ.
which means I got to wake up at 4, which means honestly I'm just
I'm
probably
not
not going to
waking you
sleep
up.
that night to make it easy.
I was also gonna say I'm not gonna be able to wake you up. I will be dead.
So I have a question. Are you okay, Joe, with us possibly continuing this like on Monday? Because I wouldn't mind doing Monday.
Monday's a solid maybe. Yeah, honestly, assuming nothing comes up, Monday's
Well,
workable. Let's see.
I run D&D on Monday. So how about Tuesday? Does Tuesday work?
Tuesday. Probably, yeah.
Tuesday.
That ought to be
Tuesday's
fine.
The 22nd.
Yeah.
I will just have to move my bath day to Wednesday, and that's fine with me.
That ought to be
That'll
fine.
be fun. I'm just curling up.
I'll have to tell Dusty no John Wick for this week.
That said, for, what finite amount of roleplay that has happened today, I hope everybody had fun. I'm going to be editing and chopping up a lot of this, and I hope, at least people are a little more excited having gotten their sheets semi-functional. Does anybody have any suggestions for a good title for this session today?
What the fox? Because this has kind of been a what the fuck, but fox coat.
I'm cool.
I mean, I don't see much wrong with that. On
Vinestra
another,
said, a sheet adventure.
a sheet adventure.
Because most of it was sheet.
Yeah,
Doing the
most of it
sheet.
was in BRB, which won't be in the VOD. Working on sheets, but yeah, sure.
I like what the fox.
Winter Fox.
What the fox? Because it was a what the fuck, and there was fox coat that we discovered is a what the fuck as well. Also, 420 blaze it. In about 5 minutes for Joe.
That's fair.
I want to blaze it. I just want to make people go away.
And also, actually, to prevent myself from seizing tonight, I'm going to be eating something that technically we can call a celebration. So,
It's 20th of the 4th right now.
whoa.
We're talking about how American dates work.
Also,
Joe, did you raid out? Joe, did you finish raiding
Hold
out?
on.
Raid out.
I'm working on it.
Damn it, stupid phone.
Session 63, Tango Foxtrot.
It's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Ah.
I'm sorry. I love the fact that it put his like persuasion roll onto that roll. So good.
There was
so
a
good.
persuasion with another persuasion on top of the persuasion with an intimidation for flavor. The poor
just love-
lady. Piper's just sitting in the background like, poor lady. She don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah, she freely decided to be a blood bag to a husband that recently got turned into a vampire to try and not allow him to be a bad man, but he was already a bad man. So she said her world kind of flipped upside down, turned inside out, and basically given
We
it
brought her
a
back.
fucking...
We
yeah.
brought him back as a normal person, and he's got thousands of years of mental trauma, soul trauma.
Yeah, her
for
life
being
has
in
been a little
hell.
bit prolapsed.
I think he's gotten. I think he had enough of
Vinistra said, he now has a future to be a better man.
Absolutely.
He better take those thousands of years into consideration while he has his the rest of his life.
You gotta think of it from her perspective, though. These clients that you made these clothes for walk into your store, immediately turn hostile, kill your husband.
Resurrect him.
Yeah, but you don't know they're gonna resurrect him. All you know is they just killed him in front of me.
Here's your clothes. Here's your second chance. Okay.
Wait. This was after a 400-year trauma dump.
Yeah.